last topic for today I want to hit very quickly, and this is just, it doesn't exactly fall in the category of I told you so, but it's getting close. Okay, so I have said all along, it just seems impossible to me that the Democrat Party is going to let Joe Biden actually become their nominee for president. They've got to find a way somewhere along the path to get him out of there. Well, one thing happened today. There was an op-ed, or a couple of days ago, an op-ed on the New York Times in which they're saying that, and for the op-ed to be printed, this had to be New York Times editorial board agreeing to print this. An op-ed a couple of days ago saying, time to consider dumping Biden. That's the name of the op-ed, time to consider dumping Biden. And the argument right now in this particular column was just, this is an unsolvable, horrible problem he has with respect to this allegation of sexual assault. Everyone on the left can see they own the problem. They created the problem of the Me Too, believe the woman, every woman must be believed mindset that they claim they stood for in the Kavanaugh hearing. And now they have Biden, which is, of course, an allegation by a woman who is has much more validity to it by just external factors. I mean, the woman told people at the time she worked for him, so she was on his political side. Recognize she worked in his Senate office. Senators and members of Congress hire people who share their political views. This is not like a Republican woman making a claim against Democrat Biden. This is a Democrat staffer who came forward at the time, told people, we played the clip on the show, her mother called into Larry King in roughly the same time period, talking about her daughter's problem. So this is making the Democrat Party nervous, not just because this Tara Reade is raising a valid claim and most people on the left are trying to stick their fingers in their ears and say, la, 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 I'm not going to listen to you. But it's also because Joe Biden continues to make presentations and comments that are so disjointed, confused. He seems to be failing mentally with some form of dementia. And I'm sorry, I don't wish on anyone on the planet Earth. I wish they could cure dementia and Alzheimer's and all those other things. But the guy doesn't have his mental act together, and everyone can see it. And so he gave a speech recently in which he was talking about the 600,000 deaths from coronavirus in America today. I mean, he has a bunch of just crazy things he said. So anyway, the point of this segment is I think the left is waking up to and kind of tuning into the reality. We've got to move Biden along. So this is the first little, public shot published, an opinion piece in the New York Times. Secondly, the FEC announced, the Federal Election Commission announced that an actual committee has filed, committee to draft Michelle Obama for vice president. That's the name of the FEC, and that's what they do. They form committees, and it's an exploratory thing, but committee to draft Michelle Obama for vice president. Let me tell you, folks, it is possible that the people who put that committee together did so without Michelle Obama's knowledge or without her agreement, but I don't think so. She's the one person of all of the people in our country, as we move into the fall elections, November 2020 elections, we have President Trump obviously up for re-election and, very popular with his base, still very popular, even in the middle of this coronavirus crisis. But Michelle Obama is the biggest threat the left has. They don't see Biden as a threat at all. They don't believe Biden could beat Trump, in any set of circumstances. But Michelle Obama being floated, now they're just calling for vice president, but it is, again, a more serious trial balloon by leftists. I would guess, my friends, they would not have filed this without her agreement, even though she didn't necessarily have to be part of it. She didn't have to give her agreement. They're still allowed to do that. Customarily, political parties on both sides, you don't file those things unless you talk to the candidate and the candidate's kind of on board. So the left is kind of figuring out they got a big problem coming up this fall, and so they're thinking about how they're going to squirm their way out of it and get someone else into the nomination.